originally when I did this, my idea was I wanted to show different what couples and what love can look like for
Mm-hmm.
different people, cultures. It don't always have to be just different race
Right.
or like Honey is Jamaican, I'm Jamaican. So
Right.
even sometimes with people who are not Jamaican, things are just complete. Like for example, my father was really crazy about his grass. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you don't step on his grass, you don't walk on his grass, you don't park near the grass.
Right.
We always had a garden at home. That was just something that was very normal. We had potatoes and
Mm-hmm.
Cersei growing up. It's the vine that you kind of make like a drink with. We have like a lot of things that other people will look at and be like, "What is that?" Like we had collard greens, but more or less we had callaloo.
Yeah.
It's like a big
Girl, we
it's
wasn't
like a
nothing.
spinach, like a real bitter green, and we would go. So my mama, we go outside to
Mm-hmm.
go to get food. You know what I mean? Very
Right.
so it's very different.
Yes.
With sometimes meshing cultures
Mm-hmm.
together. Did
Mm-hmm.
you guys find it difficult coming together and meshing culturally?
Well, I would say not really too bad, but there is, because especially likes first you didn't fancy spicy food that much,
Right.
and now I was like, oh, all right, I gotta cook the food that's not spicy. And
Yeah. And Jamaicans, they eat a lot of different things too. Like, right now, well, we used to have like chicken feet literally in our freezer. We just gave it to my
yeah,
father-in-law, the other day. And it's just like, different things that, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that meat. I don't know. But my husband, he likes all the kind of exotic stuff. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, we're different
yeah,
with that stuff, but
yeah.
culturally, because my mom's Bahamian, so and
Oh, so it's close.
right, yes,
It's
ma'am.
close.
Mhm. So that island style and feel. I love reggae music. So he's like, "How you doing this stuff?" I'm like, "Hey, listen, I am a Jamaican in another life, baby. Don't play with me." So, so it was really always easy, like
Yeah.
for us to mesh that way. So I'm Casera Burton. I'm 35. I am from Miami, Florida.
And I am Sacco Burton. I am 29 and I'm from Jamaica.
Okay. And how long have you been together? Are you married or what is that?
Yes, ma'am. We
We we just got married this past July, at my mother's in Virginia. So we're fresh still, in the newlywed
right.
phase. And I'm sorry, what other question did you ask me?
No, that was it. What
Oh,
where are you from? Basically,
mhm,
where you live, how
mhm.
long you been together, if you were
Oh,
married or if you were just dating.
yes,
Oh no,
we.
we tied the knot. We met in 2020
Mhm.
March.
Yep.
I was ready
It's,
to
oh,
say the number.
oh Lord. Don't we always have this argument?
Okay.
Don't start with me.
Okay.
Don't put me on the
Yeah, let's
spot
start
for this.
there. So when and how did you meet? When Yes, let's start there.
Right.
So when and how did you meet?
So we met on Tinder.
We did.
Oh, thank you, Tinder. Okay,
Oh
listen.
yes, this is all getting juicy. It's getting juicy.
Right. Okay. I got my wine. But yes, ma'am. We met on Tinder, and
Hmm.
yeah, literally from we met, it was like
Yeah.
inseparable. Every weekend I wanted to come and see him, but I don't know if you want to tell your story of how you here in Vermont, babe.
Oh,
So they can.
right. Well, I used to work on the work program, so we came up, and I was going through a little phase, and I did like a big prayer, and I prayed and asked the Lord to give me somebody who I can spend the rest of my life with, not somebody who tomorrow is gonna be different. So
And I like to be like crystal clear. When he said he was going through a little phase, we both were legally still married, you know. So when we met, I felt like that was something that made our story very unique,
Right.
because we were both like mourning, you know, like going through a divorce, and you know, like literally just looking for that person to, you know,
Right.
be real with us, and you know, be vulnerable. And
Right.
we found each other
Yeah.
in the midst of COVID, still traveling, doing the most. But yeah, it was a great time.
As a matter of fact, the first I was going through the whole what you call it Tinder or whatever, and I was like strolling, and all of a sudden I came across you. That first picture I saw, and I was like, okay, you were wearing that
The
that
black, all black.
no. It was a fluffy hat first. That's you.
Okay, okay.
And then when I clicked on your picture, I saw you in all black. And it was Valentine's Day. I was like, oh my goodness, this woman is crazy. I like it. And I press a heart. And when I press a heart, I think it was 2 days after I got 2 days after I got the with the friend where you can send a message. And it was funny. I shoot my shot by saying, hey, listen. We talked briefly, very briefly, and I was like, okay. It was around 11 something in the night. Right, I was gonna go to bed, and I said, "You know what? If it's not this, it's nothing." And I shoot my shot. I said, "Hey, listen, I am looking for somebody who I can spend the rest of my life with. No joke."
You said that on the first message?
Yeah.
Yes, literally. I was like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me check his pictures out. I don't know.
I said, I'm not looking for somebody to hang out with. I'm looking for somebody to spend the rest of my life with, because I was at that point that I needed that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, true story.
So, okay, so I'm gonna now y'all just tell me if there's anything that I ask that makes you uncomfortable, or if if it's going too deep.
Okay.
But I feel like you just glazed over the part where you said that both of y'all was still married.
Right. Yes.
So I need you to tell me go more into detail about that if you can. So you were legally separated. What were the terms and conditions of your marriage?
Yes, we were legally separated. But you know, like I said, still just legally married, you know, but
by law.
Yeah, by law. But separated from not living with, not associating ourselves with, you know, still best lives, but unfortunately going through a divorce, you know.
Right.
So you were both not no longer living with your spouses, but still going through. Now, okay, how long had you no longer been living with your spouses?
For me, it had been like a few years, like almost 3, 4.
Right.
You probably 2, 3.
Around.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question then. That brings me to this. I got a question. Hold on. Let me find it so I can word it correctly.
Okay.
Because I have a question. Let me see.
How bad the girls something.
I know. Right.
So in your transitional, because what that's called, I consider that a transitional phase. Because when I met Bay, I've never been married before. I've been engaged twice. So this is my third engagement. Okay. And Chris calls me runaway bride, which is not true. But this is my third. If it ain't right, I'm not getting married. Okay? If it's not right, I'm not getting married.
Don't do it.
Ask me if it ain't right, I'm not doing it. So, but Chris, he's been married before. When I very first met him, he was legally still married, and I told him to call me when he got his divorce papers.
Oh Lord!
Because I had dated someone previous to him who was married and did not tell me.
Right. Wow.
So for me, I was like, I don't want to play that game of you telling me that, oh, we're not together, we don't love each other, it was just for the kids, you know, we don't have the money to get divorced, we're going to be getting divorced soon, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, call me whenever you finalize the divorce. So I think that all relationships go through a transitional period. What time do you feel like from the time that you meet someone and you're deciding to date them or to be in a relationship with them, um, do you think is a adequate enough time for anything that's previous to kind of be squared away before you enter into something new?
That's an amazing question, babe. Ooh, Lord. I don't I don't know. I just, I feel like, relationships is hard, first of all. And to be quite honest, we all know that when we are entering something with somebody, whether it be somebody that is married or someone that's single, we all dating. We all still out there playing the ball field, doing our thing, whether it be, through Facebook Messenger, whatever. We all doing our thing. So I feel like, it that's a tough question, Michelle. Jesus God. Because
I
it
need to know
it
because
takes that
like
time.
for me personally, I just feel like I don't want to be with someone who's
Mhm.
talking and dating to a whole lot of women. Not
I
to say, because I mean it's unrealistic to say, um, to a man like, oh well, you better not be talking to nobody else, because then that will put him in a position to be
right,
dishonest.
right.
Because me personally, I thrive on honesty. If a
Yes,
man comes to me and they say to me, hey, I'm dating,
right.
the definition of dating can be different depending
Mhm.
with the man. And what I've learned with men, you have to be specific.
Yes,
So, because a man could say, oh, well, yes, I'm dating.
right.
Well, to them, dating can look like I'm legally married, but we're
Mhm.
separated, but I'm living with another girlfriend who I'm not married to, but we broke up, but we just ain't moved out yet. And
Mm-mm.
we're still sleeping. I'm still sleeping with both of them, but I
Right.
still want to be with you.
Oh
That
Lord.
could be you understand what I'm saying? That could be a
I
transition, and that could technically be dating
right.
depending on the man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always like to know what do you feel is a proper amount of time? Is it okay, we've been together now 6 months. You
Right.
shouldn't have anybody else. You shouldn't have no more situations.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
but of
I'm
course,
sorry. Oh Lord, Miss Moore, you almost made me 6 months. Stop. No. 1 week. No, I'm joking. But I think, like I said, because I feel like for Babe, as great as he was when he came through the DMs trying to shoot his shots, like he say, he was still, babe, I'm sorry, I'm going to be honest. He was still playing the field, you know, and that is okay because so was I, because I
Okay.
like we both were, you know, in a place where, we were just going through a divorce and of course, like all the trauma, like, maybe certain things, ways that I acted maybe trigger him to feel, like, oh, this reminds me of this. So I got to play, the situation like whatever, how people how we all think sometimes. But I don't know. We had already moved in. I felt like when we kind of like was like, all right, because we have. I'm sorry, babe. We, it just be serious. Certain
Now
things
don't get now. Listen now. Was I supposed to call you CC for short?
you can, yes, ma'am.
Now I don't want you. I told you when I talked to you. I said, now I don't
No,
want Bay mad at me.
I like to keep it real, because I feel like that's the best way to be. And furthermore, this is not hurting us. This is helping us. And we
Okay.
are, you know,
I just don't want Bay mad at me and upset
baby,
with me.
gonna be mad, right?
Cause he giving you the side eye under that hat.
I love you. We're not saying anything bad because if I'm I'm gonna speak truth and facts. I feel like that's the best way to be. And we have grown. In the beginning, we dealt with a lot of hurdles, but look where we are now. I am your wife. You're my husband.
mm-hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing because people just don't. I'm not just gonna get married. I've been there, done that. You are my forever. So
Mm-hmm.
I need you to know that. And we have a beautiful family and beautiful kids and everything is beautiful. And we're gonna still go through challenges, but at the end of the day, I got you, you got me, period. So he's not gonna be upset.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So, do you feel like, um, there was challenges being that this was not your first marriage, or do you feel like being that it wasn't your first marriage, it made it easier for you?
I may be talking too much, so you can always.
Well, if I had to answer that, I pretty much know what I wanted from previous marriage and places where I was locking. I had she had the requirements of what I actually needed. So that being said, I had knew what I wanted out of a person. If I'm gonna go into a relationship, this person had to be uplifting, you know, person that's supposed to motivate me instead of being laid back. If I suggest something on the table, I would assume they would have an opinion about it. So, and all these other necessities. But yeah, I knew what I wanted. So when I got in the relationship and when I met her and learning about her and learning the ways of how she is, you know, those are one of the stuff that I found in you. So it made me stay, and it definitely piqued my curiosity to want to know more about her. And yeah, that's why I'm sitting here beside you.
And Bay's from Jamaica, so he is very different in with expressing himself and like how to say things. Because I know, it's like, huh, but
Right.
I love you.
What was two qualities that you found in him that you were looking for in a husband?
I love his ambition. He's so ambitious. And, I am like, I've always been on like my entrepreneurial stuff or always trying to pursue something in life. So, one, I love that quality about him, and the fact that he's like family oriented. Like Tyson's family is everything to him. Like his dad is his best friend, his right hand. And I've always loved that because that's foundation. So the fact that he is so close knit with his family, that attracted me, to him.
Tyson.
I'm like, oh Lord.
Right.
He told my huh? No. And what two qualities did you find that made Cece the wife? What were that you were looking for that she had?
It's kind of similar. And one is I let's just say, with the culture of how I grew up and the mental maturity of where I was, she taught me from first conversations right up until now, she taught me a lot to get myself in check. I was like a loosey goosey, like a whatever, and just to help myself to be more of a Sacco than a Tyson, actually, to go out and empower people, because I lead a group of 8 workers, and every day before they head out, I'll give a speech of motivation just to enlighten them. And she speak words into me.
You were looking for a wife that was going to lift you up. So maybe that was something that you lacked in your previous relationship, is that you needed someone that wasn't going to kick you when you were down, but
Right.
who was going to pour into you and
Right.
lift you up.
Yes, that's one of the things. And the second thing is, she is just as crazy as I am when it comes to music. We will be having a whole dance party in our room.
Old school.
Old school. So yeah, that's the yeah. I used to like. We used to have. You remember that one trip we made?
Which one we made?
The one we went to New York and we played every single song that played.
Oh yeah.
We both knew it. You remember that?
Yeah.
It sounds like a laughter is important.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a happy person. You have to. It has to be really negative for me to be affected by a situation. Somebody's opinion does not defile me. They can say whatever they want, and I'll smile and be at my own peace. And I found that she's the type of person, as I said, you know, is like that. She can look at a scenario and just be like, okay, it can be whatever, but you choose not to.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges that you guys have faced together or overcome together since you've been together?
One of them is, okay, for me, I would say, and this is a big one, is I went back to Jamaica for, was it 8 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And just to be there and she to be here, we tested our relationship to see how powerful we are. And you know, one is you lack the in person, and it was a test for me because I went back to the life that I left behind, and you know, and just to know that I could easily go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But we struggled and we put the work in, and we slept on the phone every single night.
Every night.
Just to be
Oh,
there for each other.
I
And
can't stand
yeah, just to be there with each other. And
literally.
yeah, so I think that was one of the hardest struggle, and we accomplished it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Out of breaking ups and makeups too.
did y'all do a lot of? Did y'all break up a lot?
It was me.
Daily.
Yeah.
Weekly. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, tell me about that, CC. That's the stuff we need to hear that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, just as he touched on, I felt like, you know, I had a lot of trauma, you know, from him going back to being home and being by his like previous, you know, situation or whatever, you know, and like she's very like, come to the head, like she's one of those girl, like very catty. She's like, she want to do the, you know, the get back, you know, try to prove a point. So it was really hard for me. I was like, all right, it's not even about having the trust in him. It was more so of how she was, you know, like, so, you know, it's like, could he be strong? Could he stand in the paint? You know, like, I'm not there. I would never know, you know what I'm saying? So, but that was his challenge. And mine, would be yeah, just like the whole past situation, because you know, with his previous marriage, you know, that is the mother of his, you know, our daughter Emma.
Right.
You know, so you know, the communication, and like I said, you know, how she is and things she would do, you know, or make me feel like they still had something going on, you know. It was like a lot of pressure for me, you know, and like I will always like, we would always go through it because I was so insecure, you know. It was like, damn, I'm with someone that I love genuinely, but it's like, can I fully truly trust him? Because, you know, I had already been there, you know what I'm saying? And I genuinely wanted love and wanted to be with someone that was vulnerable and like open and you know, willing to like be my best friend. Tell me anything, good, bad, ugly, I don't care. As long as you keep it real with me, you know, like you say, like, who am I? You know, I can always respect you because you kept it real. So that goes a long way. But we got through it, and literally, you know, he literally showed up and showed out. He was like, listen, before this, before, or, you know, talking to her in front of me to like just shut those feelings that I did have down, you know.
See, that's the thing that I love about, I mean, anybody can be
The baby.
around you two for a few minutes, and I can look at him and I can tell by the way he looks at you how he feels about you, right?
Right.
But when you're a woman and you're in a situation, that's something that people don't may not understand. It's like love will get you so far,
Ooh,
right?
right.
But there has to be something more than just
Yeah.
love.
Mm-hmm.
The respect has to be there.
Right.
So I really appreciate you being transparent about the blending of your past and your present.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the transition, what it's like from you going through a period of time of where you're dating, you're not sure. It's like, I'm not going to cut off all my side
Right.
situations for you, and then you act up, and now
Right.
I ain't got nobody. I got to start my fleet all over again,
I'm talking,
right? Then you go, but then you cut everybody off. You concentrate on just that person, right? And you make it past that transitional period. But then you also go into a period where you have to blend.
Right.
And the blending is not just when you know, because that's something I want us to talk about too. Is like when you have kids, when you both bring children into the relationship and then you have children together, so a blended family, but you also have to blend your past
Oh
with
yeah.
your present,
Yes.
because he was a man
Mm-hmm.
before he met you, right? You
Mm-hmm.
were a woman who existed as a woman in your full capacity before you met him, right? So now you're trying to come together and blend.
Right.
There is a certain responsibility for both people to be able to have a cohesive blending,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So one of the things that you said was, if so, there's always going to be an opposition from an outside person, like, so from an ex-wife, right? So
Right.
his ex-wife tried to make you feel some type of way, right? That, I think, happens. That's something that all of us have dealt
Yes.
with.
Exactly.
But the key part is the way he handled it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because had he not handled it correctly,
Right.
it could have further
Mm-hmm.
caused you to have suspicion and
Yeah.
insecurity.
Yes.
He's got to also take
Mm.
responsibility from and blend the
Right.
past into the future. So
Right.
if every single time she calls, he walks outside and
Right.
only has conversations when you're not around,
Right. Mm-hmm.
that's furthering your insecurity.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, if he's talking to her behind your back, or if he's, you know, even if they're not talking about nothing,
Right.
it's the
Are you reading my diary? Like, what's
no, because I've been through it, so I know. And it's the thing that I think a lot of us have been through it. It's
mm,
not about, and
right.
then you know, and if the partner has the wrong type of mindset,
Mm-hmm.
they'll say, "Oh, you're just insecure. You're just being insecure. You're just being." But
Oh,
no, there's a mutual responsibility for both parties
right.
to blend the past
Right.
with the present, because listen, no matter how you like it or not, she's his past,
Right.
and she forever will be a part of him because you have children.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, you don't want him to resent you,
Right.
you know what I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
love can turn into resentment real
Yes.
quick.
Yes.
So I think a part of that is him doing his best to
Yes.
help you understand
Mm-hmm.
and have, like Alexandra says, co-parenting. You
Right.
got to be able to co-parent.
Right.
Do you think there was a part outside of that that was difficult for you to, because you have children from your previous marriage too,
Yes.
right?
We
So
do.
so you have one together, your
Yeah.
new baby.
We have two.
What? Okay, you have two, but you
Yeah.
have an arm baby, right?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me, because this baby is what, 3 weeks?
Oh, she's like almost 2 months. She'll be 2 months on the 20th.
2 months. Okay, so you have
Mm-hmm.
a 2-month-old baby,
A one
and
year.
a 1 year
Yes. Our
together, and
four.
these are both together.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he has a daughter.
Yes. Emma, she's 4.
He has a 4-year-old, and
Mm-hmm.
then
A 13-year-old.
you have a 13-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
So how was it on your side for blending things from, like, did you have a completely cooperative ex? Like, how was it?
Well, I wasn't married to my daughter's father. So, but he's never been present in her life. So that was like, you
Mm.
know, easy. My daughter's father before, my husband was like my dad, even though she called him G-Pa, but that was mainly like her father figure, the man that she would always go to or whatever. So it was no issues on my end with the blending, because like I said, my baby daddy he
He
don't
wasn't a part of the picture
yeah.
either way.
I'm back.
How did you feel about dating someone who had children?
It wasn't a problem because I love kids. I love all my girls. I treat every single one the same. Even Amar, my big daughter, call her Big Gal. Um, all my girls are equal. And I, the way I was brought up, especially with my dad. My dad was showed us each and everyone love. So I grow with the passion of, and as Casey said before, family's everything to me. Family first, and then whatever want to happen after, well, it can happen. It's basically my view of it. So it wasn't a problem. I remember the first time I met her, I was like, okay, it's gonna be my big daughter now, you know. So it was okay, and luckily, she saw the genuine person that I am, and she fell in love with me just as how I fell in love with her, and we created a bond right up until this very moment. We're still rocking solid.
This is for both of you. How do you feel about each other disciplining? Is there one person that disciplined? Because I know you guys said that both of you basically have said, both of you have basically said that you feel like they're all of your children, our children. I hear a lot of our children. I don't hear his kids, my kids, her kids. It's
Yeah.
our. That sounds so solid. Yeah, definitely solid. Our kids. I love that. So how do you feel, Cece, about Honey disciplining your daughter, and how do you feel about your wife disciplining your previous child, or child from a previous marriage?
Okay, well, I am the one who mostly do the talking. I'm a talker. I try to show. I mean, kids gonna be kids regardless. But if you can steer them from, going in the burning fire or the prickle, or just steer them from a hurt, would suggest do so. I'm the one who I used to be. Hey, I'm a Jamaican kid. I was rugged. I was rough. Not in a bad way, but like a rough.
Rumbunctious them.
Not in a bad way, but like a spoiled rough. I chose to play how I played.
Right.
But knowing that and have that knowledge, and if you see one of your kids going to a certain direction, you want to, like, hey, listen, if you continue to do that, if you keep running without shoes, you're gonna scratch your foot. And
Right.
so you want to at least tell them, don't run, because if you say that, that's gonna just make them want to run more, because you didn't explain. So I definitely the talker, definitely the one who's gonna say yes, definitely the one who's gonna be like, babe, you're being too harsh. Definitely the one who's gonna be like,
So
babe,
okay,
just
so
say
Honey is the
something.
disciplinarian. You're the
Yeah,
softie.
I
You're
am.
the pushover.
Right. They want it, yes, they go to dad.
But Daddy said.
Right, exactly. That's always
Yeah.
everything over here.
You
Because daddy always says yes.
Yeah.
You know.
I always say yes, and I will always say yes to my girls, because they are really good. They're not the type who you're gonna go to bed and worry about. So if I can show my appreciation to them for being so great, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Okay, we have to watch Daddy, because he just
Right.
be letting them do whatever.
Exactly. Daddy let them do whatever. That's daddy.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions. I won't hold you guys hostage. So these are going to be a little bit more fun situational type questions. So, okay. Do you feel like it's okay to go through each other's phone without each other's permission? Why or why not?
Ain't got nothing to hide.
You don't have nothing
Um,
to hide?
No,
and
she can
listen,
take it.
and the thing is that just the other day, it's funny. He was rushing out to go to work, and he left his phone home. I went through it, and I told him that I did. Like, hello, I went through your phone. Yes, you were behaving. You're good. I see you, Mr. Burton. So, I a lot of people have things to say about it, like, oh, don't go looking what you don't want to find. It's so many different.
I'm locked in on my wife. I have it's funny and it's sad at the same point. I only talk to 4 people daily. So my family and work, no time to hang around. Because if you start an associate, I mean, friends are good, but it's your family's great, even better.
Okay, so that brings me to this. Are we allowed to have friends of the opposite sex? Why are you laughing, Tyson?
I mean, I look at it as I'm a guy and I'm a Jamaican.
No, sorry.
No, I know
No new friends.
No new
the
friends.
only reason a guy is gonna hang around a woman is hoping one day he's gonna get some. I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow.
That's the theory of guy friends.
Right.
You don't need guy friends.
Yeah. You my friend.
Exactly. I don't have a girlfriend.
No, you better not.
Right.
These your girlfriends. All these chicks.
Exactly. I got 4 girls.
You got 4 girlfriends. Right. Okay.
My hat, my pot, my cup, everything
those
is full.
Your friends.
Exactly.
Okay, so no new friends. Nobody's allowed to have any new friends. Got it.
Oh, all the guy friends, of course, but I don't know. No.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you.
Partner. She's right here is my drinking partner.
That's your drinking buddy. Okay.
Yep. Let's go have a drink, sit around, and talk.
What advice would you give to a single person who's looking for love?
Wow.
I would say, well, be vulnerable, one, and put in effort, because I feel like effort is what goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's wrong with a lot of people, I feel, today in today's relationship. Nobody just want to put forth the effort. They want to have this fairy tale relationship and want it to be all glitter and gold, but no one want to put in the effort. You got to know that you're going to be hurt in the process, because the person's not going to do everything you like them to do or say everything you want them to say. You know what I'm saying? But as long as they're putting in the effort and showing up, to make you feel better, yes, and to like grow together, because we got to grow with each other.
Yeah.
So,
and also, if I were to give advice to, I've given a lot of advice.
Okay, love doctor.
I've been.
Yes, Dr.
Remember the kid in Virginia? Do you remember the kid in Virginia?
Right.
I did.
Okay.
You remember the kid the other day?
Right.
I did. I always, everyone.
Yes. Come on, Dr. Tyson. Okay.
No, I would say one is if you're serious, let it be serious and don't go out, break somebody's heart or waste their time. If you're serious, figure out within yourself what you want from a person, what you require from a person, what that person can do for you to make you feel comfortable, happy, and feel like your best. Is know what you want. Take your time to see and be expressive is what you say. Mm-hmm. And don't waste good time, because you
so
miss
if
the hour.
You're single, don't waste your time with the wrong person. Hold out for the right relationship.
And not only that too is don't just go deep. Don't be just like, oh, she's pretty and she smile a lot. No, locked in. Like, why you really want this? Because a lot of people now is just having a relationship of what they see, what they hear. Go deeper than just the surface. Because at the end of the day, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your own time. Even believe it or not, you're wasting your time, and you're wasting the other person's time. And time is of the essence. Time, when you lose time, you can't get it back.
You can't.
Right.
What you think, honey? Miss Cece, I know you breastfeeding. You a soldier.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Yes, same. I wanted to just add to that. Like
come over a little bit, Cece.
I'm
so
sorry.
I can see you.
Can you see me better now? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I just wanted to say, exactly what Tyson was saying, be real, be vulnerable,
Yep.
put in the effort,
Yeah.
always have those hard conversations,
Yeah.
because a lot of us don't like to do that. We
Right.
always want to run away from the hard and step in and be all happy when it's easy. But I feel like the hard is what makes you, and that's why I love my, marriage with Tyson, because we really been through a lot of tough things, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
from distance to, a lot joining, from the past things. And it's a lot, it's things that I haven't dealt with
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So it was a bit of a challenge, but, we had those conversations, even if I had to cuss and be like, yo, boss, yo, he was still like, we we we
Yeah.
got through it. He's like, I love you. I'm here. So that effort, that confirmation, that security, it's like what made me, stay. And now we're married. So
Mm.
hey, it's possible. Thank you, Tinder.
So shout out to online dating for you
Yeah.
guys coming together. Okay,